rise like the sun, but don't go down. I want it all, I want it all. So long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I'll wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves through the crowd, saying King, King, King. Long live the kingdoms will fall to mine is the only one, written in stars like a sign of glory to come. Like the sun, but it won't go down. I want it all, I want it all. Long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves. I know you've heard all the stories about me. Sometimes a legend is hard to believe. Yeah, I'll show you just how true they can be. Let's raise a glass to the king. Long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves through the crowd, saying king, king, king. Long live the king.
Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Patrick was trying to anticipate the clap. He's going like, that was hilarious. Oh my gosh. How you doing, Patrick?
Yeah, good man. Good music this morning. Good
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Good
Get
music
the
this
blood
morning.
flowing. Patrick's
Yeah.
jamming in the background, going like.
Yeah. It's good music.
One of these times, I'm gonna have like a transparent countdown timer so they can just see you dancing. That's all I'm gonna do. It's the Patrick dance cam. That's what it is.
It's good music. Good music.
Oh my goodness. Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome. Happy Saturday to y'all. It was a busy week. This is a little bit of a busy week. Trying to find the chat again. Anything exciting in your world?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? Yes. Next week. I don't know if we want to talk about it, but I get to go somewhere week after next.
Yes.
And I'm really excited. because I haven't been to one of these
I've
since
never
like
been.
2011 or something like this. So yeah, there is something exciting going on. Yeah.
So we'll both be at the MVP summit in Redmond. So yay.
Super excited.
So if you're an MVP and you're gonna be there in person, come say hi. So
Super
we'll be there.
excited. I'm a little softer. He says Pop Beater says I'm softer. Is my audio?
Yeah, you can bump. Are you up all the way?
No. Okay. What about now?
Let me control the volume, man. You just go full
Okay. Okay. All right.
board. Matthew, he needs to learn the secret for us getting travel budget. I don't know. So I'm gonna be in Redmond, and then I'm going to another state the week after that. So it's I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about that. So maybe it's just me, the nerd in me, but I'm really excited.
Chewy, pass that along. Yeah, all the Microsoft people being sad. I want to travel.
Sorry, I'm excited.
I'm hoping that gets
excited
better
about
going
it.
forward. All right. If you are new to the live stream or GynaCube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Yes, sorry, Matthew. Yeah, we love. I did see someone earlier. I think it was like Melina or someone that said that they were new. And so welcome. I love always seeing new faces. Always good to have new folks join the community and partake in knowledge and sharing and ask questions. This is your time to ask questions. All right. Also, shout out. Are you like breathing? What are you doing over there? Like you're making some noise that.
I was cleaning my keyboard off.
Okay.
That's cleaning my keyboard.
It was loud. All right. So also shout out to the members of GynaCube. You help us do what we do here. If you see folks with the green name or the GynaCube logo next to their name, those are members of GynaCube. If you want to learn more, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below somewhere. No commitment required. Just big shout out to you. And thank you for supporting GynaCube. It is very much appreciated, and I love the community that is spawned out of that. It's amazing. Paul said you were shuffling your dollars for the It Depends.
I'm shuffling them, man.
For the It Depends box. Oh, we moved from a jar to a box? No, we got the jar for the It Depends. The box is for the ideas. Box is for the video ideas.
Still a jar.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who is new. Let's see here. So Ajit is new. Juliana is new from Spain. Welcome. It's either Jan or Jan is new. Welcome. Magsi is new. Welcome. Let's see what's going on here. Hang on a second. Let's go back. I lost my chat for a second. Sorry. Yes, yeah, Matthew said, stop breathing, Patrick. I agree. Let's see here. Who else is? Toby is new. And then Jan or Jan said that they just got their PL300. Congrats to that.
Congrats.
Yao is new. Anand is new, and Anand's from India. Welcome. Shushma is new from India as well. Welcome, welcome. Jose is new from Costa Rica. Matthias said, please repeat news from N12. I don't know what that means. All right. All right. So welcome, everyone. We're glad you're here. Please be sure the queue is relatively light right now. I see 6 questions in the queue. So if you're a non-member, the rule is put a Q colon in front of your question to get it in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by to get it queued up. 1 time is all you need. And they get it in, and she will get it in the queue. I also heard that Chatmaster C may have been replaced by Chatmaster K for a little bit. Kennedy may be filling in. Crystal's in the middle of doing her hair. So we have a short-term stand-in there. So Kennedy will do a fine job. And then, yeah, we have a 3 strikes rule. So if you repeat your question or spam it, 3 strikes, and you get put into a timeout either by Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, except for Patrick. Those are the folks with the blue name or the wrench next to their name. They have the power to put you in a timeout. And then what? Crystal is in the house. Okay. Chatmaster C is there. Wait, what? What'd you see?
Oh, not Raphael. Just change the context, remove filters. Keep filters.
He's
I don't know what that means.
responding to someone else's question.
Okay.
That's how chat works. Okay. People like respond to things. Yeah. just keeping you educated on the new technology, Patrick. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right. So get the questions in the queue. We get to as many as we can. We never get to all of them. So apologies. Come back next time. Adam's in a mood today. Just, I got to help Patrick out. It's all right. I got his back. It's fine. Yeah. Tell him how this works. All right. Super chats always take priority. So if you do have a burning question, want to make sure it gets answered, then super chats are the way to go. Although I will say if you added your question early on, chances are good that we're going to... If you added it during the countdown, chances are good that we're going to get to it. So, okay. With that, Patrick, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Yes. All right. Let's do it. John Smith, first up. How do I import data into Power BI via REST API? Oh, this is a Patrick question. Without complex coding. Can Adam or Patrick do a video? Much appreciated. All right. So the kicker here, which removes the it depends, is you said without writing complex coding. So I will say it depends. It does depend.
Thank you.
So one thing you can do this. There are some blogs out there on how to do this with Power Query. So you can actually do some specific coding. Alex is saying you can build a custom connector. What?
So no, Alex and I had this question earlier this week before bits, and that's the answer. That is the answer.
Well, that's one of the answers. That's not the only answer.
Yeah.
Right. So you can do this in Power Query. You can write some code. You can stuff like if the API requires like header information, you can do that with inside of Power Query. The challenge is, and Benny brought it up too, is what's the authentication required here? Because that becomes a challenge on how you do that. And I've seen some people, they will hard code like a token of some kind in Power Query, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't do that. That is not necessarily
expires.
Yeah. But that's also not secure, right? So don't do that. So that's bad. Now the other thing you could do is you could leverage things outside of Power BI. So when I start thinking about like Azure Data Factory, other ETL type processes that you could do that to get it into like a database or an intermediary store, and then connect Power BI to that. Like that's what I would prefer you do, and not try and do custom janky API stuff in Power Query, because that's
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be problematic. But if you did have, Alex said, add it to the whiteboard, Patrick.
No, I am not, Alex. No,
See,
I am
that's
not.
Alex. No, Alex is volunteering to get on a video with you to talk about it. So Alex is
There
doing
you
the
go.
work.
Then
on
I'll
that.
add it to the whiteboard.
Then add it to the whiteboard.
I'll add it to the
All
whiteboard.
right.
Once he agrees, then I'll add it to the whiteboard.
Toma, Key Vault, absolutely. But then you get in the challenge of how do you reference Key Vault with inside a Power Query, and then you get all these other things because you need a token to get to Key Vault. So like there's challenges with it. Janky never works. No, it could work. It's just very fragile at that point. So I would, if you can do it further upstream, that's better. And then let Power BI just connect to like SQL of some kind. That's like going to be a normal flow. Custom connectors are great. So yeah, those are different ways. So good luck, John. Good luck, John. All right. Aditya, how to get refresh history of all reports from a workspace that has 30 days for last 30 days in Power BI as a table. How do you get it as a table? All right, so it depends. There are a couple of options for you. So for this, let's head over to my desktop. All right. Oh, I forgot to hang on. I know it's black. Hold, please. I forgot to clicky on the thing. It should come up now. Maybe. There it is. Excellent. All right, there we go. Okay. So your first option is there is an API that you can call a Power BI REST API to where you can call get refresh history. So in group means it's in a workspace. The one that's there without in group means it's coming from my workspace. Drop that in chat. So this is an option you can do. This gives you a listing. It tells you like what the format's going to be, and you can see the different options down below of like what type of refresh it was. The one thing this doesn't call out, and like Alex or Benny, keep me honest here. This doesn't actually say how far back it goes. So I don't know like what the history is on this. Like how far, like would it get last 30 days? I think so. I think it'll get what's actually there. So. So Toma, you put out the get refreshables. So I don't know that includes all the history though. I think that also just gives you, for an item that is like refreshing, I think that just gives you the last refresh that was done. It doesn't give you the history of the refresh though. So yeah. But this is a way to do it. So from within side of a given workspace and data set, if you wanted to, so some people will say, go to, where's my workspace? There it is. So you can come down to settings and you can see refresh history here, but you can't export this. But if you're running on premium, if you go to the admin portal and come to refresh summary, you'll see all the refreshes here, and then you can export this. So this is an option for you as well. But this is specific to items that are in capacity, like premium per user or premium per capacity.
I'm just wondering if I do this like as part of a process daily, I could figure out how just to get the refreshes for that day, and then at some point I get all the histories, and you can set your own retention policies and do whatever you want. By capturing it. So
the challenge with the API. So, and Alex, thanks for coming back. He said that there's some entry he found that says that if you didn't put anything in, it gives you the last 500 entries. So that could be a lot. The challenge with the API though is you can't specify a date range. You can only do like top, right? So you could say get the last 5, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you haven't gotten them already. So that's a challenge.
I get it. You have to make it part of
you
your
got to figure that
process,
out.
though,
You got to figure that out. You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's how you can get refresh history. There you go. All right.
You like that question? You like that
question?
question?
Where'd the browser go? Man, like everything's like. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right. Next question from Oscar. Can you assign an individual data set to a premium capacity but keep everything else in the pro workspace? I heard it's possible with PowerShell. Hard no. It's a hard no. Because you assign workspaces. You assign workspaces to capacity, not individual items.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't assign a data
workspace,
set. Yeah.
But
You'd
if
have to
I
put
create
that.
a workspace
Go ahead.
and assign the capacity to that workspace, and don't assign that capacity to any other workspaces, and just put that data set on that workspace, then I've assigned that data set to that workspace.
Yes. And make sure it's a P5. Yes.
I've been thinking about that one for a long time.
Yeah. So you assign workspaces to capacity. You do not assign individual items to capacity. So you'd have to have that data set isolated in its own workspace to make sure nothing else went with it. So, yep.
And then that capacity should only host that workspace.
I mean, if you want. Sure.
Yeah. You spend, yeah.
I mean, there's plenty. If you've got a big enough model and you want to isolate it, then yeah, do that. Yeah, Kevin, start with a P5. You can always scale down.
You can always scale down.
All right. This is a Patrick question. I don't know. Is Scott in the chat also? I don't know if Scott's here. I haven't seen him.
I didn't see Scott today.
Chris, so hard yes is actually the answer. Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, Scott's here. All right, Scott, we got a question for you. Data is king. What do I need to connect to Dataverse tables? Or what do I need to connect the Dataverse table to Power BI? Ooh, that's interesting. I was thinking how to connect Power BI to Dataverse, but it's actually how do I connect Dataverse to Power BI?
What's the difference?
Well, one's coming from Dataverse, the other one's coming from Power BI. So connecting Power BI to Dataverse is easy. You just hit the Dataverse button in Power BI desktop and select your thing. It's based on authentication and what you have access
he says,
to.
Data is king said, I only have Dataverse for Teams. I tried using the instance URL. So they're trying to connect Power BI to
a Dataverse table.
They're trying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only have Dataverse for Teams. I tried using the instance URL.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Scott does.
So Scott knows what that means.
So I don't know from a Dataverse perspective if that URL would just be like a standard Dataverse URL. So like, would it show up inside a Power BI desktop? So like if I go back to my machine, and I'm assuming you're asking this question because it's not working. So, but if I go to Dataverse and then when I'm signed in, sign in.
What are you showing?
I'm showing Dataverse. I clicked on Dataverse right here on the toolbar.
Okay.
I'm showing Dataverse. No, I'm showing Oracle, Patrick, because that's relevant to the question.
Yeah.
So if you don't see it here,
I see today.
so if you don't, why is it asking me to sign in again? What? Why? I just did this. I just did that. Did you not see me do that?
I didn't see you do that.
Well, whatever.
Scott's going to grab an example, and because apparently you can't do it, so Scott's going to grab an example and he's going to provide it.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
So, but basically, I'm assuming that it's not listed here, and like you're asking like, how do I connect to it? Because it's not here. And so Scott is the Dataverse person, and so maybe it's an opportunity, Scott. We can do a video.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Paul, I agree. Adam is a little snarky today.
I am a little bit. All right, and this is just all right. I'm abandoning that. That took too long.
Yeah, there's gonna be a video.
Finally come
you
up.
just spawned the video with Scott.
There we
Adam
go.
And Scott's gonna do a video on this.
There we go. Alex said share his link. What was the link? What?
He has it. If you go,
Here's the doc for
on-
Dataverse. Oh, there you go. Hang on. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Copy link address. Let's see what this is. Please don't be a Rickroll. Please don't be a Rickroll. Okay, it's not a Rickroll. Here we go. All right. Going back to my desktop. That's it. All right. So it says view Dataverse for. Oh, it's a link. Look at this. It just tells you how to do it. It just shows you how to do it. There you go. Well, this is Power Apps though. What? Oh, I say it. So you're hacking Power Apps to get the URL. I think they already have the URL. And then Dataverse. Wait, you can do. Oh, I guess if you do the straight connector and don't hit the button, then you can do. Oh, then you can supply the URL. There you go.
There you go.
So you got to get the URL and then connect to that. And then if I go into this and then Dataverse, Does it give me the option? See, but it doesn't give me the option to. See, I don't know where you would supply that because I don't even see that. All right. I trust Alex. Follow that doc. All right. Cool. Thank you, Alex. And thank you, Scott.
Never gonna get it. 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 Never gonna get it.
Different song.
Let's
man.
keep going.
Different song. Open.
Let's keep going.
Open Tube has a question. Is it safe storing data in the data mart?
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course. Yeah.
Sure.
Candace K, I am in vogue. I am. She got it. Candace K got it.
I know what it was. I knew what you were singing, but that wasn't the Rickroll. That's what I said.
Thank you, Candace.
So Heidi
Thank you.
says this is an it depends. So is it safe storing data in the data mart? Well, I would say, I would relate it back. Is it safe storing data in a SQL server, right? So like it depends on
it depends.
Like, what you're given access to. Like how are you sharing it? Like how are you exposing the data that's sitting inside of it? So treat it like you would any other data source, right? It's a database of some kind. So yeah, depends on the definition of safe.
I like it.
Depends on the definition of safe. Define safe. So if you put data somewhere, and then you don't let anyone access it at all, ever, including yourself, it's safe. Until someone finds a way to get into it. So.
Well, I like what you said. Regardless of where you store it, right? Regardless of where you store it, you have to figure out, who's using it, who's accessing it, how you set up security.
Look at the news for like data breaches and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, this data for like a big service gets out in the wild. I'm like, they thought that was safe, right? And that was an enterprise level like data center type thing, because someone didn't follow a process or what have you. So what is safe?
Many factors there. Yeah, there's so many factors there.
In general, though, like yes, data marts. If you put data there, it follows the security process for Power BI. So yes, just make sure you're understanding what you give access to.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So it's either Jan or Jan. I don't know. I'm going with either. Can we have a better way manage interactions when you have multiple bookmarks in one page?
I saw this question and I was
what
like,
do you mean though?
When you go to I'm thinking when you go to the edit interactions.
I knew you were going to go that way.
That's not what you're thinking. That's not what you're thinking.
I don't know. Like I don't know what the scenario is or what the goals are. Is there a better way to manage interactions when you have multiple bookmarks? It might be that. So like if you're doing interactions, but you want different sets of interactions per bookmark.
I don't know if you can.
I don't even know if that honors. Does that honor the I'd have to test to see if bookmarks honor the ended interactions. That'd be interesting.
So if
I would also say,
bookmark, turn on some interactions between visuals and then turn it off. I've
never tried to do that.
Does it still work? I've never tried to do that.
It's interesting. However, I would say if you've got a lot of bookmarks, that's going to be really hard to manage and remember like what was set where. Like that could get problematic very quickly. So I would say be careful with that. But I'd also go back to also like the design and function of the report and the answers that you're trying to get out of the report and balance that with performance. All those things. Like I'm curious like why you're even like coming at this question. Like what's the problem that you're hitting and why you're trying to use this as a solution.
Thomas says it won't. Not on the same visual. No, it won't.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't think that's tracked by bookmarks. So, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Thanks, Noah. Yep, that's interesting. All right, let's do this. So, None has a question. None. After the February update, the grid visual does not display text, bug, or feature.
I didn't know. What's the grid visual?
I'm assuming table or matrix.
Yeah, what is it?
Mine shows text.
Text. Let's try the table.
Well, here, like in my report right here, this is on the March build. I'm like, I have text in a in a table, in a
Oh,
matrix.
I really can't see it because it's blocked.
Bother. Look, text.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
So I don't know. So on those types of things, though, like if you're seeing a specific issue like that, I would wait. Chris says means title property. Yeah, I think he's talking about the matrix, not the grid.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know what the title property has to do it. It could be there. It could be.
They need to look. You need to test this.
Yeah.
You need to test this.
Yeah.
With, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Heidi just said it. You need to test this across multiple devices in your organization. See if everybody's having the same problem.
Yeah. Is it? So I like that. Also, like, is it a theme thing? Is it? There's like if you just create another report, like create a blank report, add the matrix visual, connect to that data. Like, do you see the same thing happen?
Yeah.
And then if you don't, if that works and your other report's not working, then you got to break it down and figure out what's different. And then that's going to be your answer. And then if you do find that, hey, there was some breaking change, then call support and see if they can work with you on it. So, but I can't reproduce the issue. So I think that's the challenge is how do you reproduce it? So
I like the
yes,
the,
Thomas.
the YouTube. I like the YouTube handle. None.
I
love it.
None.
Yeah.
And None said, yes, I did create a simpler repro. So I would say if you have a simple repro, like using just anonymous data of some kind, then I would say open a support case on it. If you do think it's a bug, that's the best way to go. Yeah, I'm always about how do I reproduce the issue, right? So we've gotten really good at how to repro something. And if we can't repro it, then like we're missing something, right? Something's different. It's not obvious. So, all right. Sahil, when will Tabular Editor support schema comparison and transfer the tables and relationships from one Power BI desktop file to another? Well, I think he's asking this question, Patrick, because of your shirt.
Because I have Tabular Editor.
You have Tabular Editor, like you've got it on your body.
Well, I recorded a video recently showing some stuff in Tabular Editor, and I wore the T-shirt, and so I decided to wear it this morning. But you know what? You can use the ALM toolkit for that.
You can use the ALM toolkit, not between.
But
yeah,
yes,
go.
but right, not between two BBIX files because everything's not fully supported. With doing that, so sorry.
I just read Matthew's comment. He said
What did he say?
Adam is all about reproduction.
He said that I had debate. Matthew said, and I had
And
debate.
Patrick
I
has
recorded
debates.
I recorded the video this morning, man.
Wow. People said that I was a little like Matthew's on point too. All right. All right. After dark.
Yeah. Well, Sahil is saying, the measures work fine, but tables and relationships, they don't, right? Because there's certain things that's not supported. Power BI, that's PBIX to PBIX. They're only supported with the XML endpoint.
Right.
So
it's like a full tabular. Yeah. All right. Keep going.
Keep
going. All right. Alan. I thought I read a new slicer option was coming that would easily allow DAX to set a default value. Now can't find the info. Does anyone know anything? So the best thing I could point you to, hey Alex, if you've got the link to the session Miguel Myers did on DAX.tips, there was a YouTube channel for Phil Seamark's thing. He may have talked about it there. So I know Miguel Myers is the PM working on like visual updates. And he talked about a lot of things about the future of visuals. So I'm thinking that's probably where you heard it from. And so stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's not out in a public release yet. So and I don't know specifically like around that capability. I don't recall if I know there was something about the slicers getting updated, but I don't know specifically like if you'll be able to do that from DAX. So maybe, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, let's try and get one. We're bumping up against the clock, so let's. Kevin said he heard it as also, so no ETA. Yeah. So stay tuned. Cool. All right, let's see. Can we store the data in Power BI?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yes. Absolutely. You absolutely can store data in Power BI
Absolutely.
with import mode. If you use import mode, yeah.
then it's cached inside of Power BI. Good to go.
Even dual, you can do import or dual mode. Depends on the storage mode. You can cache data.
Or you could use data marts. That keeps data in Power BI.
Yeah.
There's lots of options.
One more.
All right.
You got.
All right. Here we go.
Got time for one more.
How we can apply RLS in paginated reports.
So if you're connecting to a Power BI data set and RLS is already built in, it should just pick it up, right? If you're connecting directly to the source, depending on how you have the connection string set up, then we just talked about this. Depending on how you have the connection string set up, you could put it in the back end. And we were just talking about doing a video on that. So it just depends. It depends. It depends on what you're doing. Yes, Kevin. Depending. So if the data stored in Power BI, you can set up RLS in your Power BI data set, connect paginated report to your RLS data set. To your Power BI data set, and RLS will kick in. If it's not, if you're going directly to the source, that's something you need to handle in the source. Some sources support row level security. Some sources don't, and you have to do some tricks to make it work. Yeah.
Donald's like, wait, hold on. I need to hear the RLS answer. Have we done we haven't done a video on paginated with RLS, have we?
Nope. I'm telling you, it's right there. It's right on the whiteboard.
But we established last week you had like a bunch of things there, and you keep ignoring the list when you make videos.
Because people start asking better questions, and I'm like, I gotta do this one. So I need to prioritize these. I'll do RLS paginated. We need to give some paginated love. We haven't done one of those in a while.
All right.
I'll do
RLS paginated. So FYI, the queue is cleared. We're going to go over to member only. Heidi, I'm not seeing, I don't know what happened. You're not.
I saw the question.
No, I saw the question, but I'm not seeing. The green with the logo thing, so it's not logging as a member.
I see yours green. Nope, I don't.
No, I don't. Probably switch to my other account. Okay, I'll queue it up anyway, Heidi. Hang tight. Because I know you've been a long time member. Hang on. Hold, please. Let's do... Oh, it's already in the queue. Okay, cool. Bam. They're on. Crystal's on point. All right. Let's do... Okay, so we're going to switch over to members only, which means that only members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. So if you do, members, please get your questions in, and we'll get them queued up. Chatmaster C's standing by to get them in there. And we will, if you are not a member, you can still watch the live stream, but you will not be able to participate in the chat itself. And if you want to learn more about becoming a member, I just dropped a link in there where you can learn more to see. So cool. I'm going to be switching over. Here we go. Of note also, super chats always take priority even if you're not a member. So be aware of that. So Heidi, I don't know what's going on, why it's not showing. The minute I do this, you're going to be blocked from the chat on that account. So we do have the question queued up though. So, all right, here we go. Member only. And then Chris is a member for 19 months. Amazing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So Heidi's checking out the account. We got her question. So also I don't see, I thought I saw, oh, there we go. All right. So let's start with, so Heidi's got two questions. There's one that's not as serious. I think it's very serious, but I don't think other people will think. And then we've got a real question. So how many videos are now on the Patrick whiteboard?
22. I just looked over there because I number them. It's 22.
I'm gonna remind you of that next time you say I don't know what videos to do this week, man. I don't know.
6 of them are Data Tuesday videos. So Power BI 16 and
we got Data Tuesday. 6. We got to think about too. You have that many, and you're struggling with. That's because some of those though you get I'm not so excited about that one.
What happens if you changed it? What if you change your incremental refresh policy? Nobody cares about. Nobody wants to watch that video. That's number one.
Well, that's like every video that you make, though. So, like, that's a Patrick video right there. If that
How do I
doesn't
go
say
from
Patrick
legacy-
video, I don't know what is.
How do I go from legacy connectors to the Power Query connectors with incremental refresh? How do I do that? Nobody cares about that video.
Yeah.
So that's number 2.
Okay.
I'll keep going, right? RLS with composite models. How do you handle that, right? That's number 3, right? Nobody cares about that video.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll stop reading them, but because I can read all day.
Wow. Crystal's getting a little feisty, too. Chris said you need a video on whiteboard management, so there we go.
No, I don't, because I don't manage it very well.
All right. Well, no, so Chris, he'll write that on the whiteboard. That's a video that's coming. Stay tuned. Alex, member for 37 months. Man, Alex is bananas. So he said, video idea, Patrick reacts to natural language to DAX.
To DAX, yeah.
All right. Here's Heidi's other question. This one's real. So Power BI service, is there a programmatic way to get contact information for reports across tenant and org? Checked APIs and couldn't spot it.
And I don't think so.
So if it's not coming out of the Get Workspace API, the only other thing that I would think would have it would be the Scanner API. And so if neither one of those, and Heidi's a smart person, I'm sure she's checked both of those. But if neither one of those have it, then I'm going to say no, because Get Workspace is going to give you the aspects of the workspace itself. So if it's not there, then
that would be that's the Get Groups one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Scanner API would be the only other thing, but I don't know if it's listed there. So yeah, no, there's a lot of things like that where some of the metadata, it's like you'd like to extract it, but it's not there. So hopefully that'll come at some point. But yeah, and John's also saying it's not in the Workspace API, so it'd just be a question of is it in the Scanner API, and I don't know. So, oh, there is background music. Christina, I just maybe had it. I had it low.
Yeah, you got it really low.
Sorry.
Really low.
There's always music going on. That's what Matthew
I
loves
thought
the
so.
most about
Just-
live streams.
Yeah, I don't hear it though.
So, do you hear it now?
Yeah, I do. I do.
All right. All right. So Heidi, I don't know of a good option for you there. Ideas.powerbi.com. Sorry.
Oh, the data set API. But she was asking about the workspace, right? Contact information.
Yeah, she was asking for the contacts on the workspace because that's where you define it as on the workspace.
Ah.
It's part of workspace settings. So, yeah. Candace said, she heard it for the first time. There you go. It's like good elevator music. All right, Karthik. So we've got admin portal, workspaces, access, unable to add Azure AD groups and service principals. Is it expected behavior? Hold, please.
Admin portal.
Yeah. So let me go over
Oh,
my desktop.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to my desktop. So we'll go to admin portal, go to workspaces, and then we go. So I'm going to say this is probably an it depends. So I need to find, let's do this, access. So we should be, trying to think. Really, it's not picking up. I'm trying to think what groups I have. So it did pick up this. This is a group. So it may be dependent on what groups. I don't remember what that group. I think this might be an Office 365 group. I do have some. Yeah, so it looks like it's only picking up Office 365 groups. That's weird. Yeah.
But before we answer the next question, I need you to. I forgot. I meant to do this at the beginning. I'll let you finish this.
Okay.
And then I need you to go to my screen because I want to take just a tiny excursion because I thought this was rather funny.
Okay.
Let's go to my screen.
So hang on a second. So one other thing I wanted to see was. Okay. Sorry. Go back to my screen because Karthik's question was, AD groups, and service principals. So one thing to note here is that I think this embed service, that's not a service principal. So, okay. I was thinking that's just an actual user. Hey, Heidi's back as a member. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, because there was a service principal. So, yeah, it looks like there's just a limitation here for some reason. And I've seen that too, where there's some inconsistencies with what can be added where. So that's good feedback. So I'll be sure to pass that on.
Okay, look at my screen.
All right.
Look at my screen before
going over to
you go
Patrick's.
to my screen.
All right.
Wait. Before you go to it, take a look. Is it okay to show this?
Hang on. Oh my gosh. No. I would say no. I would say no.
Ah, shoot. Come on. Why not? I'll scroll up just a little bit.
I mean, it's so. Can you zoom in on it first? This is weird. Zoom in on it.
You got to see this. No, it's this new Twitter handle that followed me, so I followed it back, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, scroll
they tweeted up this person, and I don't know who this person
Scroll
is.
up.
I have no idea.
Scroll up. Well, show me the account.
I'm showing you the account.
Oh,
this is the account.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And they post these really cool little.
I mean,
little animations.
I know, but they're exposing the power hour. And the power hour, you
Okay,
gotta be
I
in
won't
the
show
room
that
for the
one.
power hour.
So
You gotta be in the
I
power
went
hour.
away from that one, but
Okay.
I got to show people this.
Okay.
But whoever's doing this, and I don't know who's doing this, but there's this new Twitter account that followed me, Power BI Noob, and I'm like, Power BI Noob, what is
Kevin,
this?
it's not
But they
NDA.
have these
It was a power hour thing. So I'm like, do we expose the power hour like this?
But they have these great little comics that they put together, and it's pretty funny if you go read through these things.
It's on Twitter, so you can go look. Whatever.
Yeah, go Power BI Noob. If you go to Power BI Noob, I don't know who this person is, but they've been writing. They've been doing this for a while. Like they have these little comics that they make about Power BI. I just had to share it. I thought it was great. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for sharing, Patrick.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, Candace.
Oh.
Yeah. Candace. Suggestions to see what interactions users are performing, more than just views, things like filter, drill down, drill through, and specifics about the visual they're interacting with. So, I mean, that's not captured in the audit log, and it's not necessarily captured from like if we look at report usage, it's not that granular. So there's nothing in the service today that's going to give you that. So it'd be a question of how do you capture that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd have to intercept. Like you could probably do it with JavaScript, but from an embedded scenario, I would think you could do it. From the straight Power BI portal, I don't know how you would do that because you can't inject. You'd have to do custom code to do that.
So is there no way to get the visual? Is there no way to get the visual ID?
Sure, through JavaScript. You got to write code to do that.
So we don't capture that even in like log analytics.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably in there's some aspects of that are probably in the backend telemetry of the service, but it's not exposed through the service. And I don't even know at what level that would be captured because that's super granular. So, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. See, Dan is saying the log analytics has the visual ID. So if I have the visual ID,
okay, so you can get the visual
down to the detail.
Yeah, you can get the visual.
I probably can't go down to the. But if I grab the visual and then I look at the DAX, I can look at the filters.
Yeah, that you could get if you've enabled log analytics.
Yeah,
that's a premium only thing, though, right?
I mean, it's a lot of work. This would be a lot of work. I'm not saying it's trivial, but you could possibly do this.
Christina, the mythical project fork. Yeah. Shh! Don't give away the power hour. We got to be able to reuse that.
Okay. All right. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up. I thought it was cool. Probably I knew it was cool.
Yeah, Candace, sorry, at this point. Unless you're doing embedded, like with embedded, then you're doing JavaScript in your own application, and there's probably ways you could capture that more easily, but I'm guessing you're probably not doing that. Yeah, the log analytics thing, though, Kevin, I mean, it's only going to get you so far. It's not a perfect solution. It does get you something, but also that's a heavy overhead for it, too.
Yes. Yeah.
So, So cool. All right, Mr. Paul, two-parter. Paul Sutherland, and then we got Paul Turley after that with another two-parter. So Pauls are coming. There's two Pauls, and each Paul has two parts of the question.
Okay.
We created multiple statistical modeling databases each month. We create multiple statistical modeling databases each month.
Yeah.
Can the database name in the gateway data source setting be parameterized? Ooh. The data source setting requires designating a single DB name. Hang on, the second part. We don't want to create. We don't want to have to create a new gateway for each database. I can do this in Power BI Desktop, but not with the gateway. If no, is there a workaround? All right, go, Patrick. You were going to say something on that.
I know I should let you finish reading the question like you did, right?
So here's the thing. So the first part of this is, can you parameterize a data source defined in the on-premises data gateway? The answer to that is no. You cannot do that. Now you can do. I thought. Can you define? So what are you actually doing? So you're designating a single database name. So, because I know you can add, there was a feature that was added, but I think that's for data source credentials, where you could add multiple data sources in the gateway to define different credentials. Like, there's some aspects, and there's a lot of limitations on that too. I don't remember the details. It also depends on the data source that you're going to. I'm assuming here it's either SQL or Azure SQL database or something. Yeah, Heidi, 3-part naming, but yuck. Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird scenario. I'd have to look at it more.
But why is it different databases?
He said SQL Server. So it's they're automated, like multiple statistical modeling databases each month. Mm-hmm. So you're breaking out the database per month,
but
the names are the same.
But could I just take the data and pull it from each one of those databases and put it in another database and just look at that database? So every month, instead of trying to go to each one of these individual databases, when the new month rolls, start bringing that data over into the data warehouse or whatever you want to call that central repository of data, and then just connect to that one. Don't worry about all those other ones that you create every month. Instead of trying to connect to those, create a central place that just pulls that data and drops that data into that one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, Mark is also saying maybe an alias of some kind but that's for the server, and then you could just repoint the alias. That's an interesting thought, especially because he said it's on-prem SQL, so you could do.
Is the schema different though? Yeah, you could do aliasing, but is the schema
not
different?
If it's automated?
If the schema is the same, I don't care about the name of the databases. That I don't care.
Yeah.
I can handle that in my ETL process. I can handle that.
So
in my
said
ETL
different
process.
DB names. So yeah, so for a different, well, no. But if it's a different DB name, so first off, aliases won't work with the database name. That only works for the server name. The other thing is if you have a different database name, then you need a different defined data source in the gateway.
No. We're not going to the gateway. We're not going to do that. We're going to create a central repository to pull that data into the central repository and just use our ETL process to say, okay, boom, and I can parameterize my Chris, you're speaking my language, friend, and we can parameterize those things and say, okay, we got a new one this month, switch it to the new one, doom, and load it up. There you go. Yeah.
So you got the same server name and database name, but your ETL process is doing the swap.
Yeah. Do it all in the back end. Do different databases.
Upstream.
Yes, Paul,
do it upstream. Do it upstream.
Yeah,
as far upstream as possible.
Not a good idea.
Chris, it's you and me, Patrick.
I know, Paul. That's probably not what you wanted to hear. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but that's the easiest approach.
Yeah.
That you
Alex,
can take.
do it all on the back end.
Fernando, hold my beer, Alex. I got this. Adam, hold my beer. I got this.
All right. Moving on to the other Paul. Hopefully, Paul, that helps you. I hope. Gives you an idea.
So. Yeah, an idea.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Paul Turley, hope you're doing well, sir. Using incremental refresh, all right, we're speaking Patrick's language. With several years of history, I want monthly partitions going back 5 years. Okay. and then a single partition to include all records prior to that date. Okay, we're not using incremental refresh then. Hang on, there's a second part.
Yeah.
Must I manually create the catch-all partition using the legacy connection, or can I use a range policy?
I don't know. And so I'm not going to say no, Paul, because I saw Pat Mahoney do some really interesting things with Power Query recently. And if you watch that video, it was some witch magic, something that he did to make all this happen in his video. And I got to go digest it before I answer your question, because you know how Power Incremental Refresh does behind the scenes with all the complete periods and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know the answer. It may be yes, it may be no, but I got to go try it out. I'm not saying it depends, because it's either going to work or not going to work.
Well, so I'm going to say it won't work for incremental refresh. Right, so you're going to have to do custom partitioning at that point if you want to catch all. So because the other thing I heard, so here's the other thing too, is that we've heard discussions where you're trying to mix a custom partition with incremental refresh. That is not supported.
Oh, yeah.
It may work,
It's not
but it's not
supported.
supported, and it could actually get overwritten. So you got to be careful.
Go back to part
that.
one.
Yeah.
Can you go back to part one?
Yeah, don't mix custom partitions and incremental refresh for sure.
Monthly partition going back 5 years, and then a single partition to include all the records prior to that date. I know. Yeah. No.
So you got to do custom partitioning all the way if you want to do something custom.
So Toma said, I know. I was trying not to say it depends, Toma. I was trying not to say, and there's no logic behind what I said. There's no logic.
That's the definition of
It depends. It depends. You got me. You
Well,
got me.
no, because it depends means it will work in a certain scenario. If you're saying it's either gonna work or not gonna work, that's not an it depends, because it's like it's either one way. It's a binary thing. It's not.
It's true
It
or false,
depends.
right? It's true or false.
Yeah, it depends means like under certain circumstances it may work. In this, we're saying it's either it may just work or it may just not work. That's not an it depends. I don't think so. Anyway, I'll go with Toma though. You put $1 in the jar.
I'll go. I put $1 in. I put $1 in.
All right. So I did skip. There was a super chat from James. Thank you for the super chat with a question. Another incremental refresh question. So, can you use the date start and date end, so that's range start and range end, parameters for your incremental refresh to generate a dynamic date list for a date table? If so, would this work in Data Marts too? So the first part of this, you want to take a stab at it, Patrick? Because I'm going to say yes. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
Do this. Yes.
So because the range
absolutely.
start and range end parameters, they're just Power Query parameters.
Yeah.
And so from Power Query, you could define a table that builds out a date table in Power Query. So absolutely.
I think Alex is proud of us. I think Alex is proud of us right now. I think he's proud of
Like,
us.
look at them
I think
go.
Alex is proud
Look
of
at
us.
them go.
Yeah.
This is all Power Query magic. Look at that, Alex. Alex just said that. This is all Power Query magic. Yep, that's what he said.
I think Alex is proud of us.
Yeah, this is all Power Query magic. That's it. Power Query everything. So the second part of this is, would this work in Data Marts too? And I would say yes, because you're leveraging data flows to do that.
Oh, yes.
And so it's just Power Query. Again, it's just Power Query, right? So you're using Power Query to generate.
Yeah, you should do a video on this.
Maybe. I'll put it on my whiteboard.
Okay.
I'm waiting for Patrick to say, but you don't have a whiteboard. I'm like, exactly. So, Alex, release the Mecham. The Mecham. Oh my gosh. But yes, yeah, it should work as long as you're doing it in Power Query is Power Query. So go to town.
Yeah.
Go to town.
Yeah.
I do like there should be, because we've done videos on how to make a date table using DAX and whatnot. Like we should do that on. We haven't done one on how to do that in Power Query. I know there's lots of blogs out there that talk about it, but yeah. Flashback. Yeah, the Mecham.
Yeah.
Patrick's so proud of the Mecham. Doesn't make an appearance enough. All right, Toma. I used to be able to see the actual owner of a given published data set in the workspace. Now all of them are named by workspace name. Any idea? So I believe it depends on how it was published. I think. I'd have to go back and try it. Like I think I've seen cases where you can still see it by an individual. So I think it depends if they're like, if it's like admin or like what role they are in the workspace. So if they're an admin, I think it goes in as the workspace name. I'd have to validate if that's true for member and contributor as well. So I think if you do it like as a contributor, I think you'll see it as the person. I think I'd have to go back. It's been so long since I've looked at that. But I do know for sure, like if you do it as an admin, I think it will show the owner as or the person that published it. I think it'll show the.
If you're not an admin,
if you are an admin, it will absolutely show the workspace name for the owner, quote unquote owner. But for member and contributor, I'd have to validate that. So, yeah. And I don't know that, and you're right. That did change at some point. That was a while ago, though. What's Mecum? Oh, Patrick, what is the Mecum?
Mashup engine query monitor.
Yeah.
Monitor.
Hey, Alex, can you drop the link to the Mecum video? There was a video Patrick did a long time ago.
Don't watch that video.
I will say, Rui Romano's gateway monitor tool, we should just rename that to the Mecum. He said he found it. Yeah.
He found it.
Watch the video.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
It's an old
Don't
video.
It.
That is an old video. All right, Toma, I don't know. I'd have to try it. So I think it's based on who published it and what role they have. So I would check that.
Don't
All right.
watch it.
Another super chat came in.
Video.
So close to Paul's question, but we had a super chat. First super chat from Sahil. Thank you so much, Sahil. So move from Azure AS, Azure Analysis Services, to a shared data set SKU. I don't know what B1 is. Oh, B1's the Azure P1. SKU. That's the Azure SKU.
Oh. I thought they were A's. The embedded SKUs are A's.
Not the embedded.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking Azure AS. Azure AS, I think, has some SKUs, but those are like S9. Those are like S's.
Yeah.
And I think is there a B SKU on the Azure AS? Anyway, let me read the whole question.
No.
So we're moving from Azure AS to a shared data set. SKU is B1 10 gig and Pro license. After importing Power BI desktop size 130 megabyte, is it a good idea? Resources allocated in service. So. Yeah, okay, so B1 is the basic Azure AS SKU. That's what I was thinking. That was an Azure AS SKU. Okay, so if you're moving, and you only have a Pro license, so I'm curious how you migrated it if you only have a Pro license.
Wait, move from Azure AS to shared data set SKU B1, 10 gig model, and Pro license. After importing PBI's disk size, 130 megs. 130 megs.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
130 megs, nothing. So, I mean, that should work fine. So, yeah.
It should work. What do you? I mean, how many concurrent users? But it's on Pro.
It's on Pro.
Everybody needs a Pro license to access it.
Yeah. 130 megabytes in general doesn't give me pause, although I've seen things where that can be problematic.
I have one.
Yeah. I saw a around 200 meg model take down a P5, so I'm not going to say it's not. I can't guarantee that that's going to be perfectly fine, but in general, yeah, it should be fine.
It should work.
Yeah.
Why so serious, Patrick?
So Sahil, I would
talking about the.
Yeah, Sahil, though, I do want to preface to also, so definitely validate, test things. Are there specific things that, like, are you doing things that are maybe outside of the norm? And I know that's kind of nebulous and you may not know, but if there's specific capabilities in Azure AS that you're leveraging that aren't available in Power BI, then like those might be things where you hit some issues. But in general, I would think it'd be fine. Just make sure you're validating it and testing.
Well, and Kevin made a good point, right? You got to redevelop in desktop if you're just using Pro. If it's not premium, you can't, migrate it over.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like if we're only using Pro, I mean, you can't necessarily migrate. And then Alex, thank you for the super chat. Yes, I'm having ribs tonight. My neighbors, the smoker's going. Got some brisket and ribs going. It's gonna be lovely, and there will be a cold one for sure. I am definitely going to enjoy that. I've been yearning it. Alex has been taunting me it's been sending us pictures of a place near his house. All right. So we're bumping up against the clock. I got one more question in the queue from Paul. Let's do it. Is anyone making a Guy in a Cube chatbot with all the transcriptions from videos in the knowledge base? It sounds like you're volunteering, Paul. Cool if I could ask Adam and Patrick questions any day, anytime. Stand by. ChatGPT's taking over the world, man. Saturday review popular questions. Yeah. ChatGPT, buddy. That's a great suggestion. If someone wants to do it, go for it. I don't have bandwidth right now.
Oh, no. No way, no how.
Yeah.
Heidi, Guy in a Cube co-pilot.
Woo. Whoa. Co-pilot all the things. Oh, my gosh. Where do you get ribs and beer for $10?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right. I think we cleared the queue. Patrick, any closing words of wisdom? We are at time also.
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing. Ooh, and Pop Eater, I don't drink IPAs. That is not my thing.
Yeah. You put me on the spot. I don't have anything.
Put you on the spot. I ask you every time. You should know it's coming.
I know, and I forget every week.
my
I forget to
gosh.
think of something insightful.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Keep learning, folks. Keep learning.
Yeah.
PySpark and Power Query, all the things.
PySpark? Got a
PySpark
cool video
and Power
coming out.
Query.
Got a little PySpark coming out.
There you go. John with the chatbot's first response be, it depends. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. Yes, and happy Easter for folks that are celebrating. That is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your weekend. Amazing live stream as always. Had a great time, and we will see you next Saturday.
Next
All right.
Saturday. Yeah.
See you, everyone.
Might be that my mind can't find a better way when I get so hard to love, and I get so restless in my modern ways. That's why I'm so hard to love. I just seem to bring it down, baby.